A quiet mind is a powerful mind. It's in the silent spaces between thoughts that true understanding often blooms. Welcome, my dear friends, to The Motivated Mind, a Mente Motivada. I am Iluminatto Moraes, and today we're going to dive into a profound truth that often eludes us in the hurried rhythm of modern life. We're going to explore something that many misunderstand, something that is far from passive, far from inert. We're going to talk about the silent rhythm of active patience. For too long, we've painted patience with the brush of waiting, of doing nothing, of simply enduring. We've equated it with a kind of resigned stillness, a state of suspended animation while the world rushes past. But I invite you, right now, to shed that old skin of perception, to discard that worn-out definition. True patience, the kind that transforms, that builds, that allows for the grand unfolding of our deepest desires, is anything but still. It is, in its very essence, a vibrant, pulsating force. It is the steady beat of a heart preparing for a marathon, the quiet hum of an engine warming before a journey. It's the deep, rich soil absorbing nutrients, preparing for the mighty oak to rise. Think about it. In a world screaming for instant gratification, for immediate results, for the next big thing right now, the very concept of patience feels almost rebellious, doesn't it? It feels counterintuitive. We are constantly barraged with messages telling us to hurry up, to seize the moment, to never stop. And while there's undeniable wisdom in action, there's a profound, often overlooked wisdom in the quality of that action, in the timing of that action. This quality, this timing, is steeped in what I call active patience. It is the art of strategic observation, the wisdom of meticulous preparation, and the power of aligned, intentional action. It's about listening to the silent whispers of life's natural cycles and moving not against them, but with them, like a seasoned sailor reading the winds. And by the end of our time together today, my hope, my sincere wish, is that you will look at patience not as a weakness, but as your most potent superpower. As we gently transition into the heart of our reflection, I want us to consider the immense power of pausing. In our perpetually connected, always-on world, the very act of introspection can feel like a luxury we can ill afford. But dear friends, it is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is the compass that guides us through the fog of external demands and internal anxieties. Today, as we unravel the true nature of active patience, we are essentially committing to a deeper form of introspection. We are choosing to look beyond the surface, to question ingrained beliefs, and to embrace a perspective that is both ancient and profoundly relevant to our modern struggles. Why is this reflection so vital? Because at its core, understanding active patience is about understanding ourselves. It's about recognizing the intricate dance between our inner world and the external realities we navigate. It's about cultivating a quiet strength that allows us to not only endure, but to truly flourish amidst life's inevitable challenges. When we grasp that patience isn't a passive surrender, but a dynamic engagement with life, we unlock an immense reservoir of resilience, creativity, and strategic foresight. This is not about waiting for something to happen to us. It's about diligently preparing ourselves for what we want to happen through us. It's about cultivating the inner landscape so that when the external opportunities arise, we are not just ready, but deeply, intrinsically aligned. This intentional pause, this deliberate turning inward, is where the seeds of true transformation are sown. It's where we connect with our authentic selves, where we listen to the subtle rhythms of our own being, and where we begin to understand how to truly move with the currents of life, rather than fighting against them. Let's embark on this journey of understanding by first broadening our perspective, by stepping onto a higher philosophical ground. The theme of active patience echoes a timeless wisdom. Consider the words of Lao Tzu, the ancient Chinese philosopher, who in the Tao Te Ching beautifully articulates the paradox of action through stillness. Do nothing, and everything will be done. Now, this isn't a literal call to inaction, but rather a profound invitation to align ourselves with the natural flow of the Tao, the cosmic force that governs all things. It speaks to a patience that is not stagnant, but deeply engaged with the rhythm of the universe. It suggests that by releasing the urge to force outcomes, by truly understanding the moment for quiet observation and diligent preparation, we open ourselves to possibilities that chaotic action might obscure. It's a recognition that some processes, like the unfolding of a flower or the changing of seasons, cannot be rushed, but rather require our respectful presence and our intelligent participation within their natural timeline. This is the territory we explore, the deep philosophical roots of patience as a dynamic force. And how does this resonate with our personal and collective experience? Ah, my friends, look around you, look within you. We are often caught in a whirlwind of doing, aren't we? A relentless pursuit of the next goal, the next achievement, the next validation. This often leads to burnout, to frustration, to a sense of being constantly out of sync. We feel the pressure to produce, to perform, to progress at breakneck speed. But what if progress isn't always linear? What if sometimes the most profound progress is made in the quiet pauses, in the moments of deep listening, in the periods of invisible growth? Think of the artist who steps away from the canvas to allow inspiration to marinate, the writer who lets a story simmer before committing it to paper, the gardener who understands that seeds require both light and darkness, both rain and dry spells. Our human experience, in its richest tapestry, is woven with threads of anticipation, of gestation, of waiting with purpose. The emotions involved can range from anxiety when we misunderstand patience to deep peace and profound satisfaction when we embrace its active form. It's about shifting from the frantic energy of trying to control everything to the confident flow of knowing when to allow and when to act. This is the texture of our lived experience, the human element in this grand equation. And for this profound shift in understanding, for this newfound perspective on patience, can we not express a deep sense of gratitude? Gratitude for the very capacity to reflect, to learn, to evolve. Gratitude for the subtle wisdom that whispers to us from the natural world, reminding us that life unfolds in cycles, not in straight lines. Gratitude for the challenges that push us to reconsider our assumptions, to question our frantic pace, and to discover the quiet strength that lies dormant within us. This gratitude ignites a temperature within us, a warmth of appreciation for the journey itself, for the lessons learned, and for the promise of a more balanced, more fulfilling existence. It's a genuine thankfulness for the opportunity to grow, to truly see and understand the world and our place within it, not just as a static point, but as a dynamic participant in the grand dance of creation. Now, let's go deeper into the very core of this idea, active patience. It's not about waiting for something to happen to you, it's about what you are doing while you wait. It's the silent preparation of the soil before the planting, the sharpening of the axe before the tree is felled, the meticulous study before the exam. Imagine a master chef preparing a complex meal. They don't just throw ingredients together hoping for the best, they meticulously select each component, allowing some to marinate, others to slow cook, understanding that each step has its own inherent timing. They are actively patient, knowing that rushing a sauce or overcooking a roast will ruin the masterpiece. Their patience isn't a lack of action, it's a series of highly deliberate, intentional actions, each timed to perfection. It's the quiet contemplation of possibilities, the strategic planning, the honing of skills even when the opportunity isn't immediately visible. It's the inner work, the cultivation of self-awareness and resilience, the development of skills that will be crucial when the moment for overt action arrives. This is the essence of territory in its purest form, the lived application of a concept that profoundly impacts our reality. And as we conclude this leg of our journey, let's synthesize what we've explored. Active patience is the masterful integration of presence, preparation, and strategic timing. It's the understanding that the seed needs time to germinate beneath the earth before it bursts forth into the light. It's the confidence that allows us to trust the process even when the progress isn't immediately visible. It's the quiet strength that knows when to rest, when to gather resources, and when to unleash our full potential. We project a future where this understanding becomes a cornerstone of our lives, allowing us to navigate challenges with grace, to manifest our intentions with precision, and to live in a state of harmonious alignment with the grand design of life. This confidence, this deep belief, injects temperature into our final synthesis, making it not just a conclusion, but a new beginning.
Now, my dear friends, we arrive at the very heart of our conversation, the core of what it truly means to embrace the silent rhythm of active patience. This isn't just a concept to ponder, it's a way of being, a powerful lens through which to view your life and your aspirations. It's where the wisdom of the ages meets the urgency of your present moment, all filtered through the authentic lens of a human 3T experience. Let's begin by dismantling the old notion of patience as mere waiting and embrace its true philosophical foundation, that of conscious cultivation. Many great thinkers have touched upon this, perhaps none more eloquently in a practical sense than the Stoics, like Seneca. He didn't speak of patience as a passive endurance of suffering, but as a deliberate practice of cultivating virtue and resilience in the face of life's inevitable challenges. For Seneca, patience was an active engagement with reality, a recognition that while we cannot control external events, we absolutely control our reactions to them and our preparation for them. He would argue that genuine virtue isn't about avoiding hardship, but about developing the inner fortitude to meet it with wisdom and composure. This is the territory of lived philosophy, not just theoretical musings, but principles that guided lives through immense personal and political turmoil. Seneca emphasized the discipline of the mind, the practice of self-mastery, which isn't a passive state, but an intense, continuous internal effort. This involves understanding our emotions, observing our impulses, and consciously choosing our responses rather than being swept away by them. It's about building an inner fortress of peace and strength, brick by brick, through consistent mental exercises and philosophical reflection. This waiting is not empty. It is filled with the work of self-improvement, of honing one's character, of preparing for whatever challenges or opportunities may arise. This deep dive into Seneca's pragmatic approach shows us that true patience is a powerful, dynamic force within. It's the understanding that growth often occurs in the unseen, the quiet moments of dedication, the consistent effort applied without immediate reward. It's about trusting the process, trusting the effort, and knowing that the harvest will come when the time is right, but only if the seeds were sown and tended with meticulous care. To truly grasp this, let me offer you a new metaphor, a fresh symbolic landscape for our minds to explore. Imagine not a garden, nor a river, nor a mountain, but instead visualize the art of the grand tapestry weaver. This isn't a quick knotting of threads, but a centuries-old tradition where each thread is chosen with intention, each color holds meaning, and the overall design might take generations to complete. The weaver does not rush. She does not fret over an unfinished section. Instead, she observes the quality of the wool, feels the tension of the loom, and meticulously plans the placement of each individual thread. Her patience is in the deliberate selection of the finest dyes, in the careful preparing of the warp and weft, in the slow, rhythmic dance of her hands as she interlaces thread after thread. She may work for hours, days, weeks, and see only a fraction of the final design emerge. Yet her focus is absolute, her dedication unwavering. She understands that the intricate beauty, the enduring strength of the tapestry lies precisely in the unhurried precision of each and every stitch. If she were to rush, if she were to yank the threads impatiently, the fabric would fray, the pattern would distort, and the masterpiece would be lost. Her waiting is filled with the active work of weaving, of observing the emerging pattern, of adjusting her tension, of ensuring the integrity of every single connection. The masterpiece is not created by frantic motion, but by the quiet, consistent, and patient application of skill and vision. This is the texture of patience in action, vibrant, deliberate, and deeply creative, a testament to the power of unhurried craftsmanship.
Now, how do we apply this deeply in our daily lives, transforming this powerful insight into actionable wisdom? First, it means shifting from a mindset of immediate gratification to one of long-term cultivation. Instead of constantly seeking external validation or instant results, we focus on the consistent, daily practices that build our skills, strengthen our character, and deepen our understanding. Are you trying to learn a new skill? Don't expect mastery in a week. Embrace the daily practice, the small, consistent efforts that, over time, will lead to profound proficiency. This is the active patience of the apprentice. Are you working towards a significant goal? Break it down into manageable steps, and then commit to diligently executing each step, even when the final outcome seems distant. This is the active patience of the strategist. Second, it involves embracing the power of observation and quiet reflection. Before you react, before you leap into action, take a moment, observe the situation, analyze the variables, listen to your intuition. Just as the weaver assesses the threads, assess your circumstances. What is truly needed here? What is the natural rhythm of this situation? This means cultivating a deeper sense of self-awareness, understanding your own triggers, your own patterns, and your own energy levels. This mindful pause, far from being passive, is an intensely active process of gathering information and aligning yourself before moving forward. This is the active patience of the sage. Finally, it requires a conscious decision to trust the process and the unfolding of life's cycles. There will be times for rapid growth and times for slow, steady progress. There will be seasons for planting and seasons for harvesting. Learning to discern these cycles and to move in harmony with them is the ultimate expression of active patience. Don't force what isn't ready to bloom. Nurture it. Tend to it, and trust that it will unfold in its own perfect timing. This isn't about idleness. It's about discerning the right action at the right time, informed by wisdom and propelled by intentionality, all delivered with the temperature of a deep and knowing conviction. So, my dear friends, we have journeyed together through the silent rhythm of active patience. We've seen how it's not a passive waiting, but a dynamic force of observation, preparation, and strategic action. It is the wisdom of the grand tapestry weaver, meticulously creating beauty through deliberate, unhurried effort. It is the understanding that true progress often happens in the quiet, unseen moments of cultivation, of learning, of strengthening our inner world. We've learned that, like the Stoics, we control our reactions and our preparation, not necessarily the events themselves. This profound shift in perspective empowers us to navigate life's complexities not with frantic energy, but with a serene power, a confident knowing that we are moving in alignment with life's natural flow. Now, the invitation. This isn't just a concept to be intellectually appreciated, it's a practice to be embodied. I invite you, starting today, to become a conscious weaver of your own life's tapestry. Take a moment each day to pause, not to stop, but to observe. What threads are you working with? What colors are you choosing? Are you rushing, or are you moving with deliberate intention? I encourage you to identify one area in your life where you've been impatiently pushing for results. Perhaps it's a project, a relationship, or a personal goal. For the next week, consciously apply the principles of active patience to that area. Observe more, prepare more thoroughly, and act only when you feel a true alignment, a quiet knowing. Notice the subtle shifts in your energy, in your outcomes, and in your sense of peace. Share your insights, your discoveries, your own rhythms of active patience. Join our community on Instagram at @Iluminatto and @Illumin.us, or connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/profile.ph/ID equals 615-7794153793.
Let's continue this conversation, for the journey of self-discovery, fueled by a motivated mind and the rhythm of active patience, is truly an endless and beautiful one. Until our next reflection, keep cultivating your inner strength, keep listening to the silent rhythms, and remember, the most profound transformations often unfold in the quietest of moments.